we ended up finding ourselves on the motorway, which is not ideal. Motorway? Dual carriageway?
I think it was like an A road.
An A road. So yeah, we weren't supposed to be there, but good morning, team. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the vlog. If I sound tired and if I look tired, it's because I am. I mean, it is 5:40 and it's a Sunday. I don't know about you, but because I wake up so early in the week, there's no way I'm sleeping in past like 5:30, 6. So we got up and we thought, you know what, today is going to be a perfect day to do a vlog. Now the reason being is about 8 o'clock, 8:30, I'm going to meet Seb and we are going to cycle from here in Fulham all the way down to here in Leatherhead. We're going to get a coffee and a pastry at a local cyclist shop, or where a lot of the cyclists go, and then we're going to cycle back. And the total is around about 60k, probably give or take 5k. So I thought today's video could be about that, but it would also be really good to go through how I fuel a day like this. So everything from my training to my supplementation, my hydration, and then hopefully I get it right. And then secondly, hopefully you can learn a little bit as well and we can make a bit of a video out of it. So guys, without further ado, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. We will go through the full breakdown of the calories, proteins, fats, carbs at the very end. But for now, I need some water. I need a coffee. I need my oat bar. So I'll show you what we're eating. All right, so first thing every morning, I have 1 scoop or 5 grams of creatine. This is just Pure Creatine Monohydrate, I believe, from Ghost. I'm not actually working with any brands, so I'm trying a few different ones to see what works, what doesn't work. And then, there it is. I have the Raw Replenish, which is basically 1,000 milligrams of sodium and not a lot else. So we drop that in. So yeah, 5 grams of creatine, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, the old whiskeroo, and we drop that. Now I drink so much water to the point where I probably go to the toilet more in the night than I should. I actually thought that I had a problem, and I think I might still have a problem. So I think I need to see a doctor or somebody, because I go to the toilet like 3 or 4 times in the night, and I know some people are like, that's way too much, and I think it is. But I listened to this Andrew Huberman podcast and he said anywhere from 2 to 4 is totally normal. And they said that the reason being that you go more is because it's the speed of which you drink, not necessarily the quantity. To give you an example, I have probably 4 litres a day, maybe 4.5 to 5, depending on how much training I've got. I do a lot of my calls in the evening, and on a call I get, dry mouth, like I've got now, and I end up just tanking a pint of water, and that's like a call at 5, a call at 6, a call at 7. So I drink like 1.5 litres of water really fast in like, in an hour and a half. I think that might be the reason for it. If you're a doctor, if you're watching this, should I be worried? Decaf, because I told you in another video, when I was in Bali I was having like 4 a day, maybe even 5. So I'm on decaf for now, but I will go get a coffee later. And then I have my oat bars, which are oats, honey, dates, protein powder, egg whites, and they're about 250 calories, about 35 grams of carbs, 7 grams of protein, and like 2 grams of fat, something like that. So this is perfect in the morning pre-workout. I'm gonna have this, but I'm also gonna have a big bowl of oats before I go, because if I eat a little bit more before I go on the ride, I don't need to take as much with me in the bottles on the ride. I don't think anyway. So if I have like 70 to 80 grams of of carbs before I go, I'll put some supplements aside and gels and stuff, and I'll show you later about that I have on the bike. And then I'm also gonna get a pastry, which is obviously gonna be high fat and high in carbs. So we're gonna be good. So anyway, let me eat this. My dog is staring at me. She wants walking, and it's 5 to 6. Got a bit of work to do. Gotta put the bike tire on, gotta get that all sorted. So I'll catch you soon. All right, shopping has arrived. I will go through that in just a second. But first, breakfast. Let's eat. So guys, probably one of the easiest, most high carbohydrate breakfasts you can have. Pre-ride, post-workout. I used to have it post-workout actually, but we've got a long ride, so we need a lot of carbs. So here we are. I don't think you can see it properly because it's on my face, but we've got oats, apple, blueberries, dark chocolate, 90% vegan protein powder. It is delicious. So we're gonna tuck into this, then we'll go through the weekly shop of what's just arrived, because I actually forgot it was coming. Good job I'm still here when it came, otherwise everything would be defrosted. But anyway, let's eat this, let's go through the shop, let's fix up the bike, then we are going. All right, team, so weekly shop, we'll go through it. We've got proteins, carbs, veggies. There's a few things that are missing. So protein powder's not on here, peanut butter's not on here, any of my seasoning salts and stuff is not on here because I have them already. Blueberries as well because they're in the freezer. But this is pretty much everything that I have in a week, as well as everything I've just said. So carbohydrate wise, I always have oats every morning. Post-workout, I've had it for 15 years, right? It works really well for me. Super high in carbs. Just very, very good to replenish after training. Oats are a big one. We've obviously got fruit, bananas, very easy. Apples, a nice pink lady, crisp, cold apple. 2 a day, keeps the doctor away. I've also got dates. Now I make my oat bars out of these and I have to make them very quickly and leave none of these because I cannot stop eating these once I open them. So put all these in the oat bars, then they're done. Then we've got potatoes. Okay, I absolutely demolish potatoes because super high in carbs, but what I would class as a low calorie dense food, i.e. you get an awful lot for the amount of carbs that are in them compared to something like rice. So there's nothing wrong with rice, by all means eat it. But I like to have these because I have like 500 to 600 grams a day, so it really bulks up the meal, whereas a bowl of rice, I just don't feel like I get as much from it. Also got some pasta in there as well, which I haven't got out here. And then this one is the cauliflower rice. Now this really is just to bulk up my evening meals. I don't have too many carbs in the evening because I do most of my training in the morning. Again, that is just to get an abundance of food. So a pack of this is like a pack of rice. Apart from white rice is 30 grams of carbs, this is 1.7 grams of carbs. Not that I'm not having all the carbs, I just have a lot more in the day, so I have these in the evening. So guys, get on those, because even if you're dieting or you have less carbs in the evening, super. Green beans, demolish these. Pretty much the only veg I eat at the minute, actually. And then as far as protein goes, we've got chicken breasts. We've got loads in there as well, so I've only bought a few. Then we've got egg whites. So I actually have egg white omelets in the morning on toast. Again, I've got bread in there, which I've not put out here. And then last but not least, I've got fage, I don't know how you call it, 0% Greek yogurt, which I have about 200 to 300 grams every night with berries, apple, protein, and peanut butter. So that is everything. There is no fat on here, on this table. The only fats that I really consume is sometimes I have eggs, 4 eggs, and I have peanut butter. But I only have about 50 to 60 grams of fat per day every day. There's a little bit in some of these foods, but not a lot. Whereas my carbs are like 350 to 400, as you'll see today, and super high protein. So weekly shop, plus lots and lots more things. Yeah, guys, have it come every Sunday, same time, basically the same order with a few additives to it. And for me, it's just easy. The best diet to follow is the one that is simple, that is easy, you can do long term. I love everything on this table. I don't feel like it's restrictive in any way, shape or form. If I want a treat, I'll have one. But this to me makes my week so easy. So guys, if you're not preparing your food, if you're not buying your food, if you're not doing food shops, I suggest you do it. Okay, so fluid for the bike. We have the Raw Replenish, 1000 milligrams of sodium, so electrolytes in there. So I'll have that in the bottle for the trip. This is like a 24 ounce, I think like 750 milliliter bottle. Then I'm gonna take this, or not the whole of this, 2 scoops of this, which is basically 3000 milligrams of sodium and 25 grams of carbs per scoop. So I'm gonna take 2 of those with me. So that's 50 grams of carbs, 600 milligrams of sodium. I'm gonna add that to the bottle when we get somewhere that I can add extra water. So basically halfway there. And these will do me for the trip. And then the coffee and the pastry will be extra.
I think it's a big cycling cafe. So you like store your bike up top. Nice. So we're gonna go hour 30-ish that way. Coffee, pastry, hour 30 back. Sunday done, sun's out.
All right, we made it 30K. We've got a, what is it, did you say? What's this?
A
Miso.
miso flapjack.
Miso flapjack, and that just looks like a cookie with a Biscoff. 50-50 with this one.
Gosh, almost died.
Yeah, we ended up finding ourselves on the motorway, which is not ideal. Motorway? Dual carriageway?
I think it was like an A road.
An A road. So yeah, we weren't supposed to be there, but there were no cops, so we're good. All right, we are back on the road. Hopefully this time we do not hit a dual carriageway or a motorway. I don't even know what we were on. Anyway, Seb's in charge of the route, so it's on him. But yeah, coffees, desserts. I actually skipped the extra carbs. I just don't need them, I don't think. Oats this morning, and the cake definitely tide us over. So that means I get a bit more food later rather than in powder form, so win-win-win. It's about 30k back, and pedal to the metal, 60k hopefully, and yeah, see you on the other side. All right guys, we are back. That is a wrap. Sorry for the line on my head. The helmet is too tight. We did 61.8 kilometers in total, 2 hours 57 minutes, average speed 21 kilometers an hour, calories burned 1,653. Average heart rate was about 90 BPM. And the reason it was quite low is because it wasn't too crazy. There wasn't too many hills. It was quite easy, but it was a bit messy. That's probably why it probably took longer than it should have. But now we know what not to do next time. Anyway, we are gonna get stuck in some food. I am starving, so I'm gonna have some pasta. When I can take this off of tracking, weighed it out here. We got 120 grams of shelled pasta. I'm gonna throw that in this bad boy. We're gonna cook some food and we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna be horizontal for the rest of the day. Because tomorrow we've got to swim, but today is all about cycling, eating, chilling, because it is a Sunday. Alright guys, it is 7:05. We finished the film. We're on the last meal of the day, and it is my favourite. Greek yogurt, scoop of protein, 1 apple, 100 grams of frozen blueberries, and there's about 30-35 grams of peanut butter on there. I actually didn't weigh the peanut butter out, but I usually weigh everything else. This is my favourite. About an hour to 2 hours before bed, let it digest, and then we'll hit the sack. But guys, today, let's go through how many calories we've consumed. Do you know what? Let's go through how many I've burnt first. This is not accurate, but I think it's always worth going through just to give you a bit of an idea. So according to my Apple Watch, today I burnt 3,719 calories. Yesterday, 3,727. So it's quite busy. Friday, 3,784. So in fact, Friday was probably the biggest day so far. So given I've burnt nearly 4,000 calories, I have consumed, with everything that we've made at home, it works out 2,862 calories, 212 grams of protein, 354 grams of carbs, and 64 grams of fat. Now that is not taken into consideration the half of a cookie and half of a flapjack, which I reckon, give or take, 300-400 calories. So let's say it's 350. Let's fall in between. So 350 plus 2,862 equals 3,212 calories for the day. So given that I've burnt 3,719, I could probably do with eating a bit more. And guys, to be honest, that's something I'm trying to get a bit better at, because I'm used to, or I was last year, being in a deficit, probably not fueling my body enough. And I've always been pretty bad for this. And now there's such a huge output. I mean, this week it was 2 hours of swimming, 4 hours of cycling, 2.5 hours of running, and then 4 hours of lifting. So that's like 12 hours of training. So really I need to be eating a little bit more, but I'm getting there. We're only into week 2, but I will get there. I will eat more. I will fuel properly and we'll nail it. So guys, thank you for watching. I know today wasn't fun. There wasn't a huge amount going on as far as training or business or anything like that. It was very much just a cycle, and there wasn't even a lot there. To be fair, because I was going at like average 21 to 25 kilometers an hour, I didn't really fancy having my phone or my camera out too much. But yeah, that's a bit of an insight. That's what I eat in a day. It really pretty much is that all the time, apart from the cake. And I enjoy it. You know, it's easy, it's simple. You'll see on my food that I ordered at the beginning, everything that I need is there. It's just about increasing calories now to make sure I'm fueling my workouts and I'm recovering properly, because most days twice a day, or at least 4 days out of 7. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment below. Like, subscribe. Let me know how you're liking the Ironman saga. It's obviously going to be another 22, 23 weeks until the event, so there's going to be a lot of videos to go. So if there's anything you want to see in particular, whether it's the running, whether it's the cycling, whether it's the swimming, whether it's business, whether it's anything, let me know. I'll pick it up and we'll hopefully do it in a few videos coming forward. Have a nice evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to eat this and go to bed because I'm super tired. Peace. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good one.